Drake Lady Lover, Slate 1, Take 1. Adam, that's not the name of this project. This isn't Drake's new music video. We're shooting a video for Drakey. Sounds awfully similar to Drake. Well, he's from Finland, so that's how you pronounce it. Okay, my bad. What's the song called again? It's Hoita Blingiloini. How do you spell that? Adam, just give me the clapperboard. You're fired. Just go. Second ACs just can't do basic grammar nowadays. Is it Hoyt? You're gonna make mistakes throughout your film career. It's pretty much a guarantee. But the quicker you notice that you're making them, the quicker you can take these learning experiences into your next projects. So I'm gonna reveal 5 crucial music video making mistakes that you ought to be on the lookout for. Concepts and visuals not developing. There's a bunch of music video styles out there, from performance to more traditional narrative concepts. But despite the freedom that this medium gives you, a common mistake from upcoming filmmakers is any captivating development as the video progresses. For narrative, this can be as simple as a new story element being introduced, like the end of a first chorus revealing that there's something not quite right with this girl that we've been observing for the last minute. And for performance videos, it could be a new visual concept, like this background beginning to burn to a crisp. Unless someone really likes your song, they're not going to stick around unless your video is engaging. Attention spans are shorter than they've ever been, so you need to hook people into each section of the song, or else they're just going to click away pretty fast. So many people discover their next favorite band and song because of watching music videos on YouTube. So don't give them a reason to click away to watch the 1 zillion other interesting pieces of content on this platform. When I make a music video, I go so far to even consider which of the shots that we've been capturing would be striking enough to be used as the YouTube thumbnail, way before I've even started editing the video. I think this mistake often comes down to people not considering the viewer's experience when watching a video for the first time, especially when you're deep in the intricacies for all of the meanings and messages that the artist wants to portray in the video. Sometimes it's hard to take a step back and consider, what's a more engaging way that we can communicate the same thing so both the artist and the viewer are happy? It's a true testament of an amazing video if somebody watches it all the way through, even if they don't really vibe that much with the song. That's exactly why Daniels' Turn Down for What can rack up over 1 billion views. The video transcends above the song, prompting people to instinctually want to share it around with their friends just because of how ridiculous it is. So start being critical about the pacing in your ideas. When would an audience start getting bored? And what simple techniques can you put into place to ensure they stick around for as long as possible? Not scouting your locations. Sometimes you'll have access to a location that you haven't yet visited in person, with only a few reference photos to give you a sense whether the space will work for your particular concept. But I implore you, don't just rely on photos and videos. If you can, absolutely go visit the location. Scouting in person will help you visualize how the ideas and concepts in your head can actually be captured practically come shoot day. A lot of times being at the location physically will inspire better ways that you can handle the concepts within the particular scenes you're shooting. And you'll quickly realize how certain things that you initially planned won't quite work out the way that you had them envisioned. Now, sometimes you won't be able to physically scout a location before your shoot, either because the place isn't open beforehand, or you're shooting overseas and the budget means that flying there for a pre-scout just isn't feasible. If this happens, ask the owners/location contact that you have to take as many photos and videos as possible. Ask where the sockets are so you know where your lights can be powered from. Consider where you're going to be storing all of your gear and where each department is going to be stationed at the location. If the place you're shooting at aren't really used to having a film crew there, I wouldn't rely on their word for whether or not they actually have something suitable for your needs. Oh yeah, of course, you could use our garage to store all of your film stuff in. Then you physically get there and the garage is tiny, dusty, and damp, and definitely not a place where you want to be storing all of your expensive camera gear in. As a worst case scenario, ask for videos as evidence for some of the stuff that you want to check up on. But sometimes you just get lucky and the people that are in charge are just super down to earth and accommodating. But remember, unless you're paying them thousands of dollars or you're going to be bringing Leonardo DiCaprio to set, then they're probably doing you a favor, not the other way around. Not making a visual treatment for your crew. Explaining your concept to that super talented actor that you want to get on board via an Instagram DM is one thing, but presenting him with a badass looking treatment that clearly shows you put a lot of time and thought into this video says a lot about the potential quality your end product is going to have. Effectively communicating your vision with other crew members is crucial to the success of your project, and treatments are one of the best ways to do this. Treatments help to put your vision of what the film's going to look like that you've been mulling around for many months, taking that and putting it into the heads of the other people that you're going to be working with. So you're much more aligned as to what the end product is actually going to look like. I found that this also has an additional bonus of massively motivating all of the different departments, helping them feel like this is truly a collaborative project, where all ideas and disciplines are valued versus you've just hired them to tell them what to do and that's pretty much it. If you want to start working on bigger projects, especially in the whole music video space, then making a treatment is the bare minimum of what you're going to need in order to convince them that your idea is the one that they should go with out of the hundreds of other filmmakers fighting for the same video opportunity. So best get used to making them sooner rather than later. You don't even have to make your designs super fancy. For the last few treatments I worked on, I used templates on Canva to help me draft them up, rather than designing something from scratch in a software like Adobe InDesign. You do probably want to use something like InDesign if you're pitching on a project, but for my last videos I actually already got the job and just used the treatment as a way to show the other crew members what the actual idea was going to be. Treatments are also really great to help you lock down locations for your project. And a bunch of times I've brought treatments along with me to better explain a video's particular concept to the location owners that I'm trying to convince to let me shoot there for the video. I mean, what's going to be more enticing? Receiving an email with a bland description of a project, or showing a sexy looking PDF with eye-catching visual references and a very clear idea of what the video is actually going to look like once you finish shooting in their place? Don't be scared to shoot a pre-viz. Now, my drawing skills are at the level of a 7-year-old, so unless I hire a storyboard artist or hop into learning Unreal Engine, the next best thing at my disposal to help visualize the project that we're making is to shoot a pre-viz. A pre-viz is essentially a draft version of your music video, so no fancy lighting or even the actors that you're going to end up working with. Think of it like those really cringe short films you made back with your friends in high school with all of your terrible acting in full display. Even though they don't look particularly professional, I'd argue that pre-vizes actually have a lot of advantages over other methods of planning. For one, you can put the footage into an edit software to mess around with the timings for certain scenes before you shoot the proper footage for your project. You also get to explore a variety of shot angles and camera movements that may actually work better than what you initially envisioned in your head. And you can experiment with VFX or CGI effects that you'd like to include in the final video. Using a pre-viz was a massive help when prepping one of my previous music video projects, Thunder, where so many narrative elements had to be perfectly timed to fit within each specific section of the song, that if I just relied on trying to get it right when the shoot day rolled along, I would have only noticed once in the edit suite that the actors' movements were just too long to fit into the appropriate song sections. Don't be precious about making your pre-viz look good. No one else has to see it except you and your closest collaborators. But many times you'll actually realize it's the most useful way to explain to an artist about the ideas that you've been envisioning. So enjoy a collective cringe when watching back the terrible acting skills from your close friends. Recently, I've taken this pre-viz mindset when planning my YouTube thumbnails by shooting the concept with my iPhone, then tweaking the design in Photoshop to troubleshoot the result before finally busting out my fancy camera and lighting gear to shoot the finished high-res image. Bad catering on set. If people are working for free or for very little money to help make your project come to life, then this should be the most basic thing that you get right. Film shoots are often long, tiring, and especially in the UK where I'm from, spent just stood around in the cold, freezing, rainy weather. Naturally, people's energy is just going to fluctuate as the shoot day progresses, and more than likely, people are going to start to get sloppy with their responsibilities because of this. But you know what picks up people's spirits more than money or having Leonardo DiCaprio as your lead actor? Delicious, warm, hearty food. It's the simplest thing you can do to keep your crew happy. Now, hearty food doesn't mean supermarket croissants or that cereal bar that you've had stuffed in the back of your cupboard for the past week. I mean home-cooked and warm food with options suitable for any dietary requirement. Yes, that means vegans too. I remember cooking until 2 a.m. with a director collaborator of mine on one of my early music videos, so that people could have home-cooked and delicious food to eat on set the next day. Student filmmaker problems, we'd already spent all of our budget, so we also had to be the chefs on that project. People will go above and beyond to help out if they feel that they're really being taken care of. And that often includes staying that extra hour if you've overrun to help you capture those essential shots for the edit. Remember, people aren't invested in the idea as much as you are. So even though you can handle munching on a few cereal bars because you're just so focused on capturing the vision of the project that you've been mulling over in your head for the last couple weeks, Jimmy the clapper loader over here just hops from shoot to shoot, and your project is just one of many in his busy schedule. So treat Jimmy well, he deserves it. The film industry is so much about word of mouth that if you give someone a bad experience on set, a bunch of other people are going to know about it. And it's really hard to clean up the stain of a bad reputation. If your shoot is happening over multiple days, for the love of God, don't just order pizza all the time. I like pizza as much as the next person, and I should know because I'm half Italian, and my nonna make the best pizza in the world, mamma mia! But you've got to give people variety and choice. And please always ask the crew about any dietary requirements that they might have beforehand. And as a final pointer, always have snacks on hand that people can munch throughout the day. Those electricians need to keep themselves busy somehow. I know, I used to be one. Check out this video to blend in like a pro on your next film set with these 20 filmmaking phrases. Hit the subscribe button, because if you don't, your film sets are going to be cursed with nothing but cold, frozen tomato pizzas forever. Mamma mia, where's the cheese? Ah! Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.